From Transformers Legacy United, it is the Prime Universe Cliffjumper versus the Beast Wars Universe Tarantulas, the G1 Universe Squeezeplay, and the Cyberverse Universe Tarn. Yes, it's the cool 4-pack that includes some really cool repaints, retools, and I'm going to go through these guys with you to see if maybe it's something you'd like to hunt down for your collection. I don't want to waste any time, so let's run the intro and be right back. Okay, so first of all, I want to say this packaging looks really cool. It's got a window. You can't actually touch the guys until you open up the package, so that's kind of cool. And it does have the 4 outnumbered Cliffjumper over here versus these 3 together, and really nice artwork of the characters. And to show you the back, it shows you everybody in their various modes, and on the top it has this versus thing here. Now, why they would put 4 Cliffjumper up against 3 very powerful evil Destrons, I'll call them Destrons because it's a Predacon and 2 Decepticons, but why they would do that, I'm not quite sure. But let's get them out and look a little closer. You're lucky I'm not a mint in box collector, because it'd be like, look at the box, okay, bye. No, we're gonna actually go through, we're gonna open them up, and I'm not dissing mint in box collectors. A lot of the packaging looks really cool, and having things mint in box is awesome. And if I could, I would have, of every single Transformer, 1 mint in the box and 1 loose to play with. But unfortunately, I don't have that kind of money, so. But let's snip these guys out. This is definitely not plastic-free packaging because of the windows and how these guys are restrained. I guess that would be a good word for it as any. So, put Cliffjumper in the close-up cam so you can look at him a little bit. And I will continue my snipping. And I do have things to say about these figures. Oh yes, I do. But one thing I'll say, they are certainly very secure in this packaging. There is Tarantulas, though he looks a little different, and we'll talk about why soon enough, making a mess on my table. There is Squeezeplay, though he's missing a piece. It's not attached yet. We'll attach that very shortly. And lastly, Tarn. And this has made a whole bloody fucking mess on my table. And there's a shitty piece of paper. But wait, when you get this, if you get this, there's one of these hidden packets, and it's cleverly hidden in a little cardboard divider between Cliffjumper and the others. And in it, there are a couple weapons for Tarantulas. That might also be for Tarantulas. And accessories for Cliffjumper as well. There were probably enough plastic twist ties to create a whole new Transformer, at least a accessory. And of course, to get rid of the shitty piece of paper. And the instruction sheet is for all 4 of them, so you're gonna have to scan or photograph if you're going to try to break up this set and sell them individually. And apparently, let's move you guys a little bit out of the way so we can talk about Squeezeplay and taking this monster head, and it apparently attaches to the back. So on each side, there's a little hole, post, put it on, and you stick it onto his back like so. He's got a little tab, little post on his monster chin that goes into his back, and there you have it. And apparently, this gun is for Squeezeplay, so there he is in all his glory. And since Squeezeplay is pretty cool and probably has the most retooling out of all these guys, I am going to go over him first. So let's take a look at Squeezeplay. So I'll put him on the turntable of doom, zoom in a little bit so you can see him in glory. And he looks a lot like his G1 original. Not exactly, but pretty darn close. I mean, he does have the monster head on the back for kibble. He's got this piece as a shield. He's got the gun, but let's check out his posability, because yeah, this guy is a very heavy retool of, believe it or not, Mindwipe, who is also a headmaster, so they could keep that part of the transformation the same. They kind of needed to use a Titan Master. It's a Titan Master version, not the headmaster, but Mindwipe. Now, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. If you flatten his back heel, he can do a full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. Very uncomfortable looking, but it works. And that reminds me, I'm going to take these weapons off just so they don't interfere with the posability. Now, he does have ankle tilts that go way out, so he could basically almost do a split from standing position. So that's nice for stability and some dynamic posing. And of course, kicking forward, kicking backwards, he runs into his monster head. Side kicks, bends at the knee, has a nice spike here for gouging into someone's crotch. You can, of course, turn his kick into a grasp. And they spin all the way around. Now, looking at these legs, it's almost looking, since there's such a wide area on the outside, I almost am inclined to say, oh, they're the wrong way. But then I look at the feet and the swivel, and no, it's not the wrong way. So just a little bit of display on his leg. He can spin all around at the waist, which is nice. His arms can go all the way around. Can straighten out, bend at the elbow, do a full 90 degrees. He can swivel, I believe. So the swivel appears to be here. It feels a little stiff, but there we go. You can swivel all the way around pretty much. Yeah, all the way around. The swivel is located on his shoulder. And again, because this is a repaint, the part that you would think would be hidden is right here, but it's not hidden. So, I mean, they did what they could to make him serviceable. I don't think that really detracts on his legs or arms all that much. The head, or the Titan Master, can turn all the way around. You can kind of adjust these a little bit, but I don't know why you would. And if we pop off his head, transforms into his little guy, who is called Locos. And he's a little loco. But apparently there was a previous version of Squeezeplay since the Headmaster, and they didn't use the exact same head. But he's very cool, very posable. Now, the original Squeezeplay had his tech spec meter visible, but it doesn't actually do anything when you put in the Titan Master. So, but still, overall, I like him in robot mode, and he does have the cool weapons, the shield slash slasher, and the gun. The gun feels slightly loose in his hand. Now, horrendously so, but that's one thing I'm not thrilled about. Otherwise, he's pretty awesome looking. I do like the gun. It looks like a pistol, almost like an automatic. And yeah, good figure. Let's put him into his monster mode. Oh, and if you prefer, you can also put his gun on his arm. I don't think it looks as good though. So there he is in his creature monster mode. I have to say, it doesn't look bad from the front. From the back, it looked kind of I mean, the tail here, you can put the gun on for weapon storage, but it's kind of like not the best looking tail. Can you push it down a little bit? A little bit, but I've seen better. Now, his Titan Master, you can open up his front cover here and take his head, put him in a seated position, and put him inside that cavity, close it up, and there you go. Now, in this mode, he's got very thick legs. Actually, you could probably bend the elbows a little further than I did if you get the configuration right, but you can move the legs back and forth. You can kind of do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme in creature mode, but he's very front heavy. Now these claws can kind of move like this, you can swing him to the side, goes forward and back, kind of tilted downward. You can tilt them up a little bit, but they don't go back and forth. The monster mouth doesn't open or close, it's kind of stuck in that position. I think I definitely like the robot mode a little bit better. Overall, he's not bad, but he was heavily retooled, and who knows what kind of creature he is. He's kind of like a cobra, 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 la 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 la. Okay, let's not bring that into it. But he's like a cobra monster, almost like a Fusor. Now, because his ankle tilts are there, you can actually bring the claws up like that. So he's like half crab, half cobra, but Squeezeplay. There you go. Now, monster mode stands almost 3 1/4 inches. In robot mode, he is about 5 3/8 inches. And let's test that. Yes, you can bend his elbow even further. It just kind of stiffened out on me. Now, it's kind of a double jointed elbow, by the way, because you can bend it here and you can bend it here. So it's kind of weird. But overall, I like him, but his creature mode, I've seen better. So that was Squeezeplay. Let's move on to Tarantulas, who, before I forget, is about 5 inches in height. Now, what's interesting about this Tarantulas is he is not based on the normal Beast Wars. I understand he is based on the prototype, the coloration, and you can see he's got like the mutant-style head. So it's an interesting, different-looking Tarantulas. Though I'm kind of curious why they say Beast Wars universe, because they've established that the Beast Wars is in the G1 universe. It's a continuation of that. So should he be G1 universe Tarantulas? But he's an interesting looking figure. Maybe use him as Mirror Universe Tarantulas. Or you could make him into a new character entirely. Now, I didn't do a regular review on the original Tarantulas, so I'm going to do a full thing on this guy. I have to say, overall, I like the look of him. I think the colors are very different, and I like that. And he can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme, so that is also very cool. He can kick forward, not too high, but decently. Back is a little hampered by the thorax or whatever that is on his back. Side kick, he does have ankle tilts, ankle swivels, He bends at the knee, so you can bend him like that, and he's got the spike, or you can bend him without the spike, so he's kind of got double jointed knees too. A lot of double jointed Transformers today. He can also twist at the waist, but he runs into some kibble, so it's hard to get him to go all the way around. But he does sashay from side to side. But that's his lower articulation. His arms can go all the way around, but you don't want to put an eye out. Look at these. These legs can be dangerous. Bends at the elbow, such as it is. You can swivel his claws. You can kind of push his arms back like he is puffing out his chest. And that's part of the transformation, but it adds a little bit more. You can scratch his nose with his spider legs. And then they can fall out because, you know, toxic boogers. His head can turn all the way around. Yeah, overall, a neat looking version of Tarantulas. You could call him something else if you want. Just brainstorming here. Maybe Web Shock, Web Weaver, or Wall Crawler. No, we'll get sued by Merp. But overall, a neat interpretation. Let's see here. He's got the two weapons, which are kind of neat. I don't think you can use this as a wield up, but I do like these weapons. They're very neat, and they fit into his claws without a problem. All right, let's check out Spider Mode. So there he is in his Spider Mode, a very creepy looking motherfucker. I really don't like spiders. I had to adjust the claws a little bit. I had them facing inward instead of down. But a very cool orange spider. I'm not sure what an orange spider would signify. They probably have them in Australia because they got every other fucking creepy crawly down there. But he's cool. You can stand him on his legs. Now, the problem with this Tarantulas, like every other Tarantulas, his legs can pop off pretty easy, so just be aware of that. But you can pose the legs in all kinds of ways. He's got the weapon sticking out of his ass, so he can pretty much spin webs or shoot people or, you know, go take a dump. The saw blade weapon is on the bottom here, goes right in that little hole. That's some nice weapon storage. Always appreciate weapon storage because, again, I grew up with G1, where there wasn't generally a lot of weapon storage. Oh, cool and creepy. And yes, I refer to the instructions because, to be honest, I haven't even taken the Beast Wars Tarantulas out of his package from whatever line that was, Earthrise or whatever. As a spider, he's about from tip of the weapon to his claws, about 6 inches. Width with his legs, a little over 6 inches as well. So he takes up space. You might wonder why I didn't take out Tarantulas. It's just I had planned on it. I was going to do a nice review, and I just didn't get around to it. And now he's older, so maybe I'll review him in a live stream. I'm thinking of doing catch-up review live streams on Transformer Tuesdays, and that might work out well. I'm also thinking about third-party Thursdays, but we'll get there. So Tarantulas looks kind of like a facehugger. Neat bot. All right, let's finish off the bad guys before we go on to our Prime Universe hero who's so outnumbered. So this is another version of Tarn, exact same mold as the original Tarn that they put out, only this one is colored to be more indicative of the Cyberverse universe. In Cyberverse, Tarn was one of the many super Decepticon soldiers that accompanied the alternate universe Megatron, and he was smarter than the rest, and there was all kinds of shit happening. I won't go into all the details, but you should check it out, and if any of my words have intrigued you, check out Cyberverse. Kind of neat. But yeah, I like the new coloring. It is definitely kind of a neat thing. Now, I know there was talk about putting out another Tarn or releasing Tarn again. I wonder if this is what they meant. I did a full review on Tarn before, and there is also a cool third-party one. But just quickly, he's got ankle rockers. He can do not quite, well, actually, let me see here. He can just about do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Got lots of leg articulation with bending at the knee to the side, kicking really high. And his knee has quite the angle to it. So he's got quite a bit there. He can twist at the waist. By the way, he could twist all around at the waist if you took out, like, his thorax and moved it around, because it's part of the transformation. He can stab himself in the ass. Now, I'm pretty sure that the first Tarn did not come with a sword. That was an add-on with bludgeon. But it is a cool add-on for this version of Tarn. I like the big purple sword. And bends at the elbows, swivels, head can turn all the way around. Now, I do want to point out the deco. It looks pretty cool. Yes, he's got the Decepticon mask, but it looks a little less like the Decepticon mask because of the paint applications around it. It looks a little more like a face that just happens to highly resemble the Decepticon symbol, but it's not 100% the Decepticon symbol. They might have done some slight retooling, slight remolding of this face to make him more like the Cyberverse. But he's got his handy weapons, his handy connector, and yeah, he's a cool version of Tarn. I love the new coloration. It does make it more interesting. Not that the other Tarn isn't interesting, but I'm a sucker for repaints. Oh, we'll give him one more spin, and then we'll put him into his vehicle mode. So there he is in his tank mode. Again, a very cool looking tank, just like the original Tarn, just like the third-party one. And again, I'm loving the coloration. And again, if you don't want to call him Tarn, you can call him something else. Call him Char or Gunsmith. Gunsmith would be cool. And I think you put the sword on top here. I forget. It's been a while since I've transformed the bludgeon one, but he's very cool. Doesn't really roll. No real wheels. It's fake wheels. You can use them a hover tank or a regular tank and just push him. And unlike the third-party one, there's no lights that activate, but he's got light piping. But yeah, I'm liking this Tarn. And again, as a repaint, I can call him something else. Death Grind. Why not? All right, and finally, and I didn't measure Tarn, but, you know, go look at my other video and use the same measurements as the original. So this Prime Universe version of Cliffjumper is actually a remold, repaint, slight retool of the Rescue Bots Universe Chase Autobot. So it does kind of amaze me how Hasbro can use a different head, some different colorations, different paint apps, and make something that's pretty much the same mold look quite a bit different, because he does not look like a cop. But he does have the same floodlight things, he's got the same claw, kind of goes with his horns, and he's a pretty cool version of, again, the Prime Universe version of Cliffjumper. And he's not just like a Bumblebee repaint, so, you know, that's always good. Now, I'll go real quick through posability. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme, kicking forward, kicking back, slight ankle swivels, so they can go way in the wrong direction, just like the Rescue Autobot Chase. Bends at the knees, swivels, arms, can kind of go all the way around, but then you got these wings in the back you got to kind of contend with, so not quite all the way around straight. But if you kind of angle them, you might be able to get them to go all the way around with some difficulty. Bends at the elbow, it does a nice thing. With Tarn, by the way, his fingers are articulated. I already kind of talked about that in another video. Don't want to forget and get yelled at again. Back to Cliffjumper. Twisting at the waist all the way around, very nice. He's turned the head all the way around. And as you can see, he's horny. The fists don't really move, so no articulation there on him. And he does have the claw. The claw, which you can put over his hand. You can separate it into its component pieces. You can, oh, the fists do actually fold in a little bit. So you could actually use that to your advantage to fold it in if you wanted to hold this like a tool. A spark extractor. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Okay, well, maybe not. His shoulders can go up and down, way down. It's part of the transformation, but that's a neat looking bot. Definitely a great representation of Cliffjumper from the Prime Universe. And just, again, I want to differentiate him from other Cliffjumpers, which a lot of them are Bumblebee repaints, but not the original. The original is just very close in mold. All right, and just like Autobot Chase, he's about 5 inches. The horns just kind of put him just in reach of that. All right, one more spin, and put him in his muscle car mode. So there is Prime Universe Cliffjumper in his vehicle mode, very muscle car-ish. Oh, something was misaligned there. Looks better now. I love the addition of the horns in the front. Rolls pretty decent. I've seen better, I've seen worse. You can put the claw on here for weapon storage, put the little floodlight things on here. I mean, they're not police lights, and he is about 4.5 inches in vehicle mode. So a cool looking muscle car, again, looks a bit distinctive from Chase, which is nice. The addition of the horns is definitely a nice thing. He's got nice Autobot symbols on the sides here. Again, a good Prime version of Cliffjumper. So there you have it, poor Cliffy against Tarantulas and Tarn and Squeezeplay. So again, Cliffjumper's very outnumbered. Good thing he rolls better than any of them. So it's a cool set. I know it sold out very quickly for pre-orders. If you have pre-ordered it, you haven't gotten it yet, this is a nice preview for you. If you didn't end up pre-ordering it, I'll try to find some of the more reasonably priced ones and link them in the description. in case you want to get this set for your collection. Overall, I'm glad I got this set. I'm glad I have a Squeezeplay. And again, very interesting Tarantulas, very cool coloration on Tarn, and a very nice version of Prime Cliffjumper. A fun set, and I hope you're having fun watching these videos as much fun as I have making them and learning about new versions of toys. And while you are mulling over this 4-pack that's basically, 3 Decepticons and a Autobot who should be running now, you can check out this video right over here, which could be some reinforcements for Cliffjumper. It is the 5-pack of Legacy Autobots that includes a Earth-style Hound. And we will see you next time. If you are enjoying this content, please feel free to subscribe. And I want you to have fun and good hunting.